because you have to be all in on that choice when you make it. Don't say, all right, fine, I'll go, and because it's important to them, and then sit there and just be a douchebag on the couch the whole time.
The millennial generation is as follows.
Welcome to
Surrounded by Idiots
Radio Podcast.
Your voice of reason in a sea of idiots. This is the Surrounded by Idiots Radio Podcast. Hey, it's Tony Dufresne, PhD. Good to see you. Good to have you back. This week, it's going to be sort of an off-the-top-of-the-head discussion, and it's going to be about the holidays. I talked about the voting thing last week, and that's coming up. And please vote if you're in the States. And if you're not in the States, so when that comes up, vote as well. I'm not going to go way off. If you heard the podcast last week, then you know what I'm talking about. This week, I want to talk about the holidays. My girlfriend actually brought this up because I was brainstorming. Because a lot of time, have you ever had this? You think about a million different things that you want to talk about, that you want to write about, that you want to just whatever. Just think. But then when it comes down to putting it down on paper, or if it comes down to really talking to somebody about it, then you just blank on all those million things, and then you have to figure out something new. That's kind of what's been going on with me. My head's full of a bunch of crap, especially towards the end of the year. I've had very high expectations on myself to finish up my stuff, which I haven't. And you know how crushing that is for a perfectionist. So I've decided to just kind of screw all that stuff, and I was talking to my girlfriend, and she was saying, well, why don't you talk about the holidays? And it's... The holidays are such a loaded thing, aren't they? Mostly because of the fact that you're dealing with a lot of different people with a lot of different perceptions on the holidays and what they mean. And that's what's brought me to having a quick discussion with you today about how to kind of tap dance through that minefield of the holidays to make them something that's going to be a good imprint, something that's going to be a good memory for you. Something that's going to provide nice experiences for you and for you to be able to give to other people without being all pissed and bent that you're at some place where and you're talking to Uncle Bob who's a fucking idiot, and constantly every single year you end up doing the same thing because you think you have to. That's what we're trying to get around. So I've just jotted down 3 real basic guideline points for you to follow in regards to tap dancing through this minefield to make the holidays just awesome. Now, if the holidays are awesome to you now, then great, congratulations. You have figured out, the Fibonacci code. You figured out the way to make all this work. A lot of people, including myself, have struggled. And the funny part about it is I didn't even know I was struggling through the holidays until after I was out. Did you ever have that feeling? Because when I was younger, I just thought they were what they were, which was we go to places and we are around people who were never around during the rest of the year. And then we just sit around and talk small talk bullshit crap. And then we eat our food. And sadly, I was in a household that didn't have alcohol because there were recovering alcoholics, and I didn't have the opportunity to at least numb myself from this. And it was just one of those things where outside of the whole getting candy on Halloween or eating really quick on Thanksgiving, good food, and then leaving and pretending to go upstairs and have to do something, and getting my own presents on Christmas. Outside of that, the times like Christmas Day was usually sort of a bummer because we had, we got the stuff in the morning, which was great, but then then they haul us off to fucking church, and we had to sit there for 2 hours with a bunch of people I don't know, going over the same bullshit. If you're a Catholic, you have to go through the same stuff every single time. It's like a ritual thing. And as a child, you don't even know what 90% of the stuff that you talk about in Catholic Church in terms of going, you don't have no idea. So you have to go through that, and then you come back, and then you go to a house with a bunch of people that you hung out with the night before that you didn't want to hang around with, and now you're with them or with another set of people that you don't want to hang around with, and you're bored out of your mind. I did this true story. One Christmas Day, I learned how to, nerd alert, I learned how to do the Rubik's Cube in one day. like in 3 minutes, learn how to do a whole, because I got a book on Christmas Eve and I was so fucking bored on Christmas Day that all I did was just sit there and read the book and figure out the whole Rubik's Cube thing, which for the record, if you buy the cheat book, anybody could do that, and it's not that difficult. So, I mean, if I can do it, then everybody can do it. But that's a pure prime example of a holiday situation for me. So that's why I wanted to talk about this. So let's talk about the 3 tips I can give you that I've thought about that will hopefully help you through this minefield. This is the holiday minefield to get you into a good place to where it's going to be nourishing and it's going to be something that you can feed off of and going into the new year. First thing, I've touched on this already. Realize the holidays have different meanings to different people. The thing that always comes to my mind is my mom. For her, the holidays were, and I'm talking more of Thanksgiving and Christmas, they were the time to get everybody together, and it's just, her thing was family. It was just all family, and her cooking and having the kids there, and that just being the case. And it wasn't anything to do with any activities, but it was just having everybody there, and for her, that was huge. And for her to be, and for us to be able to go through this, and it was very ritualistic too. We went through the same exact stuff every single time, year after year. The Christmas Eve was the same. The Christmas Day was the same, and it was fun, mind you. I mean, as a kid, the parts that I benefited from, because kids are very egocentric, and the parts that I got the toys or where I got to eat some good food was great. So that was not a problem. But in realizing, as I get older, as you're getting older, you realize that those times, you don't live in those times anymore. You're not that same person. You've grown and you've expanded and you see things from a different perspective, hopefully, than you did when you were 8 years old. And that poses a problem. And the problem is that all of a sudden you're in a relationship and now you have not only your thing to deal with, but you have their thing to deal with as well. And that could be totally different. Could be way better. Or it could be just a disaster. Could be way worse. Again, and then you have your thing you're dealing with, and you're not even looking at it in the same perspective. And it could be one of those things where you wake up and go, oh, shit, this entire time for 17 years, I've been going to this thing, and it's just mortally depressing. And no wonder. Now, no wonder why I'm overeating on Christmas Day, or no wonder why I'm shutting myself off on Thanksgiving night, or whatever the case. So realize that it's going to mean different things to different people. It's the whole thing about perspective, and everybody living in their own reality. You live in your own reality, and as you grow, your reality is actually changing as well, because it's becoming more aware of who you are and how you fit into stuff and what you want too. I'm hoping that as this time has gone on, whether it be listening to me or somebody else, that you're understanding more and more about yourself, and you're not taking things are starting to irritate you that you kind of let go, or they sort of automatically in your subconscious frustrated you. But now you know the things that do frustrate you, and you're starting to do something about it. I'm hoping. But that's the whole part about this. But here's the kicker. Once you realize that people see things differently and they hold the holidays in different levels than you do, here's the choice. Now the choice is, like for me and my mom and my sister's huge on the holiday thing. Here's the choice. Do I just come out and say, nah, I'm not going to buy into that? Or do I put their feelings first, or understand what their perspective is, and realize, you know what, this is a huge thing for them. It's not a huge thing for me. I'm going to be okay. I'll be okay with just going, and if I do make that choice, then I'm all in. Because you have to be all in on that choice when you make it. Don't say, all right, fine, I'll go, and because it's important to them, and then sit there and just be a douchebag on the couch the whole time. I mean, that's not right. That's not living in integrity and understanding. You've made a choice. If you're going to make that choice to do that and to support and to prioritize their feelings or their reality over yours, because it means more to them, then you have to just kind of go in with it, understanding it's only, a 3-hour block, and then you're okay, and then you can come home and get drunk or super high or do what you want to do. But you have to go all in on that, but realize the holidays mean different things to different people. And they're not going to come into they're not going to automatically go into your universe and things are going to be great, especially if things have been going on for a long time as a ritual and they're older people. So realize that, first thing, and be okay with it. Make your choice. Make your choice based upon the realization that you live in a different universe than these other people do, and it may be more important to them or less important. But don't put expectations on them to come into your reality. Just realize it. The second thing, don't get distracted. The holidays are awesome at distracting you from doing the hard work or doing the work you need to do to continue on in your journey. What do I mean by that? Halloween comes up. What do you have to focus on? It's a focus. It's a focus point. Instead of being in, mid-February when nothing's going on and in a lot of places you can't do anything because it's so damn cold. When the holidays come up, it's all thing. You're going candy shopping or you're decorating your house for Halloween. You're looking forward to the kids coming so you can hand stuff out. Thanksgiving, you're shopping for all your food. You're talking to everybody. Hey, what are you going to do? You're making plans. Christmas, oh my God, that just goes on and on and on. It's a great time of year to be totally distracted and to lose focus. And if you do that, you lose 3 months. You lose 3 months of working on yourself and becoming more aware and going towards that path in terms of expansion and to going and creating the life that you continue to want to create. It's great, and I'm not saying it's not a either or thing either. It's not a binary decision, which means 0 or 1 or it's either or. Just realize a lot of stuff is happening, but don't let it knock you off where your path is. Don't let it knock you off in doing podcasts every single week. Don't let it knock you off in doing your blogs every week. Don't let it knock you off in doing your journal every single day or your meditation every day or going to do your volunteer when you do your volunteer work or whatever you happen to be doing. Don't let it knock you off your flow. All right. When it comes in, and it's great. Look at it like, I would suggest looking at it like an added bonus. An added bonus in terms of you already have your stuff going on, then you have this added stuff over here where you're like, hey, this is fun. It's fun, and we get to do this, and I understand this. But look at it that way, okay? So don't get distracted. Keep your focus. That's the reason why January 1st comes along, the New Year's resolution. Everybody's all fired up to do New Year's resolution because they've just wasted 3 months thinking about the holiday shit, and they probably subconsciously feel guilty about not doing anything. So continue to move forward. Don't get distracted. Number 3, third thing. Use the holidays to reprioritize. And what I mean by that, the first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking about that is mostly reprioritizing your tribe and who's in your tribe and who should be there, who should be in your inner circle, who should be in your outer circle, who should be, get the hell out of here. Because in a situation where the holidays come around, a lot of times you'll hear from people that you've lost touch with over the years or over just the past year because of certain reasons. Maybe it's like I was just talking to my daughter, and she was in a musical theater production about 3 months ago, and she had a Friendsgiving thing just recently. And I asked her, well, did you get a chance to invite any of your people from the play? Because they formed a really, if you've ever been in a production like that, you form a very familia. You form a very close group knit thing because you're sharing this experience. And she said, no, as much as we bonded at that time, we all had such different lives that we haven't really talked and stuff. So that kind of stuff happens over the year, but then maybe she'll, over the holidays, coming closer to Christmas, she'll hear from somebody or she'll get a Christmas card from someone. Those are the times to start reprioritizing and understanding maybe some of the people in your inner circle, some of the people that you think are in your tribe that should be the most supportive people the most lean on me people, and the most people that you can support as well, which is important. Maybe that needs to shift a little bit, and use the holidays to see who reaches out to you, who you want to reach out to, which is an important thing, and sort of gauge where everybody, maybe that needs to shuffle a little bit in regards to who's where. Maybe you hear from a long lost friend who really is, a brother from another mother type of a thing. I have a friend of mine that I've gotten along with for 30 some odd years or 35 some odd years. Just a terrific guy, as I'm thinking about this off the top of my head. And because of life situations, we just, it's just one of those things where we touch base a couple times a year. But, it would probably be better for me to establish a closer relationship with him, because he's just an amazing guy, just an amazing human being. And we've always had a great brotherhood connection. And that would probably be a good idea for me, because I'm not averse to doing shifting and changing too. I go through these same things every single year. So those are the three things that I would really encourage you to use the holidays for, or to use to be able to not survive, because I don't want to be extreme, but to make them work for you the best way possible in going through. Every single year as you go along, and being 53 now, I realize more and more that through my 20s and my 30s, there was a lot of time wasted. There was a lot of time wasted in my ego. There was a lot of time wasted doing stupid shit. And there was, instead of investing in myself and investing in understanding more and more about the world and how things work. And that's why I would like to throw these three things out to you. And that's really what it comes down to, just giving you a little guideline to help you out a little bit, and to make every single minute of every single day powerful for you, or as powerful as it can be. So the first thing is, realize the holidays mean different things to different people, and you have to take that into consideration when you're prioritizing. The second thing is, don't be distracted. Don't get so much into the holidays that you're not continually working on yourself. Third thing is, use them to reprioritize who's in your circles, in terms of what works and what doesn't, in terms of who your real tribe is and who isn't. And you know who it is. Just because they're close family members or blood doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't, because a lot of blood family members wouldn't cross the street to help you. Or if they did, they'd be bitching and whining about you being, the loser of the family. And do you want somebody like that around? I don't. So I hope that helps. Hope things are good. Remember, you can buy the book. You know where the book goes. If you have any questions or anything like that, or if you have something that you want me to talk about, then please let me know. Tony@javabud.com. Also, I'm going to be creating a survey, because I'm creating a whole new online program, and I talk about a lot of stuff. The book talks about a lot of stuff. I've had clients for 9 years now talk about a bunch of different stuff, mostly about life transition stuff, out of a relationship or out of school, going into real life, or in trying to just find their path and find a flow for themselves, and to have a good solid foundation to work from. What is your biggest obstacle to getting there? Why are you listening to this? Why are you giving me a half an hour of your valuable time? Because there's a million podcasts out there, and there's a million different ways to be distracted. Why are you giving me 20 minutes or 25 minutes of your time? Why is it important? What do I provide? What are the things that you've heard from me that you're like, damn, that helps me? I would really love to know that, because I want to create an online program to help my tribe. I don't want to create an online program to try to throw a big blanket over everybody and say, how to make your life the best it possibly can be bullshit, like a lot of the guys out there. I want to make something very specific to you guys, because if you're listening to me now, then we speak the same language, and I just want to make something that you are going to benefit from 100%. So let me know. Tony@javabud.com. Send it over. I would love, I'm going to put out paid advertising to find this out from everybody. I'm just going to put a survey out there and get a lot of different. But if you do send me an email right now or in the next month or so on my Tony@javabud.com, and I know you listen to the show, make sure you say you listen to the show. Then I'll send you a freebie or a book or I'll give you a half an hour free thing, because you guys are awesome and you've been with me for 2 years. A little over 2 years, and I really appreciate that, because there's a lot of different choices. Like Southwest Airlines always says, you have a lot of choices to fly, and thank you for flying us. And it really means something to me that we can hear each other. Sadly, I can't hear you unless you get a hold of me. So let me know, Tony@javabud.com. I hope things are great. Remember, make the holidays work for you, and look forward to them. Make it to where you look forward to every single holiday from this time forward. That's what my wish would be for you. Hope things are good. I'll talk to you later.